Did you know that Halloween night is by far the safest night to kill a person and leave them on a chair on your front porch?
Makes sense. Hey guys, welcome back to the Schorr Manor podcast. Again, it's Matt and Amanda here with episode number 4. So, in our previous episode, we went over our outdoor Halloween decorations. And so what we wanted to do for this one is our indoor decorations. Now, I know there are some people out there, and props to you guys for this, that go just as hardcore inside your house as you do outside. As a matter of fact, one of Matt's best friends, her name is Dana. Shout out to Dana. Hope you're listening. Her house is awesome. It is. She, makes all of her stuff herself. Amazing. And that's typically people who throw major parties. So I mentioned in the last podcast, our house is pretty tiny. We don't throw a huge party, mainly because most of our friends have kids and, they're all out trick-or-treating too, but also because our house is just really, really small and there's not a lot of not a lot of room for all the people to fit in or a lot of room for all the food that we would need to feed the people. Because we are definitely foodies. I make way too many desserts for
more
Halloween.
Than we could ever eat.
Yes, people want to throw up when they see how much dessert that I have made. My in-laws begrudgingly eat my stuff. Not because I'm a bad cook, but just because they're health conscious, and I'm oh, here, eat all this sugar and fat and butter.
Yeah, it's fine.
However, my husband's grandmother loves everything that I make, so.
Oh, yeah. Of course she does. The problem is she's a diabetic.
Yeah. Which does sort of make me feel guilty. My favorite story, I have to tell you guys this. If any of you know Matt's granny, you'll appreciate the story. She is a diabetic, and she does take insulin shots now. Mm. And she started those back before last Halloween, and she came down with Matt's parents, and we had made these little brownies, and I bought those little Brock's pumpkins, and I did little pumpkin patch signs. The other idea I saw on Pinterest, by the way. And I always make cupcakes because my grandmother always made cupcakes on Halloween. Growing up, Halloween was a family holiday for us. We would go out trick-or-treating, and then we would go to my uncle's mother's house, which actually was not my grandmother because he married my aunt, but my other grandmother would go over there as well. And so my entire family would be at my uncle's mother's house, and she was basically a grandmother to me. And so both her and my biological grandmother always made cupcakes. So I make cupcakes every year because it is a family tradition. So Matt's mother asked his granny, she said, Amanda made cupcakes and brownies, which actually Matt made the brownies, but because I ran out of time. And she said, which one do you want? And Matt's granny goes, well, I believe I'll have one of each.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
It's my favorite story.
My granny was always the type of the person that I was once leaving the house and I just had a craving for some ice cream, and I looked back at my parents and she were in the living room together, and I just said, does anybody else feel like having some ice cream? And no lie, before I had even finished the sentence, Granny said, I do.
Yeah, she's super sweet, but we'll do food in another video, so I'm sure I'll probably tell that another podcast. I'm sure I'll tell that story again. So for this podcast, I just want to talk about our indoor decorations.
Yes.
We do have kind of a little Halloween village, what survived the great fall of 2016 anyway.
Yeah.
We had them put up in our closet because a lot of our stuff we store outside, but there are a few things that I don't want to store outside just in case, animals, mice, or whatever gets in it. Yeah. And also we tend to forget to take down all the inside stuff because we're focused on the outside stuff, and then we get it all put away, and then everything is still up inside, and we're like, crap. Yeah. So it tends to just go in our closet. And I'm not sure what happened. We were gone at the time, but we actually just had this little Halloween village stored in a bag, and we had set it up in the closet, and somehow it wound up falling onto the ground, and almost everything in it broke.
Yep.
Now, before anybody gets upset, most of this stuff was purchased at the Dollar Tree.
It was, but
they have
God bless
awesome
it.
Halloween.
It was great.
Yeah, they have pretty awesome, like, Halloween decorations there as far as little villages go. Like, I know I talked about the outdoor stuff. Wouldn't buy a lot of outdoor things except for, like, the skulls. And I do have some little, like, black ravens that I put out only on Halloween night that I got there. Mm-hmm. But as far as indoor, their stuff is pretty cool. I like it. The very first Halloween decoration that Matt and I ever bought was the first summer that we were married. We went to the flea market in Nashville. If anybody lives anywhere near Nashville, you know they have a huge flea market the third Saturday of every month. We went down during the summer one Saturday. There was like this, I forget the name of it, but it was an entire village, and it had a little haunted house piece. And it came with like a little pumpkin patch. And they wanted like $3 for it, and I'm sure brand new. These things are probably $25 to $30 a piece. It has a funny story because I picked it up and I was like, oh my gosh, look, it's a little haunted house. And, you know, at this point in our marriage, like, we both knew we were into Halloween, but I don't think either of us had realized how deeply we were into Halloween or how far our obsession would go.
You'd think we would have talked about this by then.
Yeah, I mean, he knew that I was, like, super into it, and he got more into it the longer we were together. So there was a lady standing there looking at these village pieces as well. There was only one haunted house. They had, like, multiples of the other ones. I don't know if this person was a collector or if they used to sell it or what, but anyway, this lady is like, oh, what did you say that is? And I said, oh, it's a little haunted house, and I kind of show her, but I don't give it to her. I'm holding on to it because, you know, if you've been raised going to flea markets and yard sales like I have been, you know, if it's something you want, you don't ever put it down because somebody's going to take it from you. So she goes, oh, well, I'm having a party and I need a Halloween door prize. Okay, it's like June, you know, like nobody but us buys Halloween decorations in June. So I'm already very skeptical of this lady's story. She's like, oh, I just really need that. Can I have it? And I'm like, no, I think we're going to buy it. And she just keeps on. And so we finally buy it. And I put it like in my purse and we walk away. I mean, it was like ridiculous. The lengths this woman was going for this little bitty piece. But it's my favorite piece to our village that we have. And then the other things that we have that we put up with the village, they're just little figurines. Like, one is a little witch on top of a jack-o'-lantern, and she's holding, like, a baby ghost. I love this piece because the face of the jack-o'-lantern opens, and then there's stuff on the inside of it. And then another one that I like, it's this, like, little tree that we got at Goodwill, and it's like a witch pushing, like, a pumpkin cart, and the tree comes up out of it, and then there's, like, a little cat and some ghosts and a bat that hang off of the tree. And then another one of my favorites, we actually just got this like last week. We went to a thrift store, and I used to work at the Dollar Tree back when I was in college. They would always have these little bear figurines, and one of them was a mummy, and I just thought it was the cutest little figurine that I had ever seen, and they sold out before I could get one, even though I worked there. And so now I'm always like on the hunt for this little mummy figurine. We found this little bear, and he's dressed as a ghost, and he's pulling a little jack-o'-lantern that has little wheels on it, and it was so cute, like we had to get it. So that's kind of like what our Halloween village is right now.
It, like the front yard, slowly grows each and every year.
Yeah, a little bit. We went to Goodwill a few weeks ago, and Matt actually found a broom, it's a small broom, one you would hang up as decoration. And I know we've got some little signs somewhere that I can put on it to make it, you know, more of a Halloween-y decoration. I'm very excited. We went last week and found one of those candy dishes that's a cauldron, and like you stick your hand in and then the little hand comes down and like catches you. It needs new batteries. I gotta put new batteries in it, but I'm super excited to find that because I've always wanted one, but I've always been too cheap to buy them.
Yeah, hopefully it still works. You haven't had a chance to test it yet.
I will make it work.
Okay.
So I think that's mainly it for like our decorations. We do a black tablecloth. Well, not anymore. We used to do a black tablecloth.
That's true. We got that new one.
On our table. But we actually found one of those really old, well, I say really old, it's probably like from the 80s, like fabric ones that's a Halloween. It's got like witches and ghosts and pumpkins on it that we'll be using this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's one of those, it's a reusable one. And then we, of course, and I usually get these at the Dollar Tree. I think you guys are seeing a theme here. We always get paper plates and napkins. And then we also have plastic cups, Halloween-themed cups that we got from the Dollar Tree that everyone drinks out of. I do also have some, they're like jack-o'-lanterns and ghosts, like ice cube trays to make Halloween ice cubes for, which I forgot about last year. But we'll be doing this year. And then on our table, I'm excited about this. I got this at Goodwill, and I got it for 50% off. Like I said, if you live in the state of Tennessee, the first Saturday of every month is half off day. And also, like, every day there's like a color or maybe 2 colors that you can get 50% off of that. And I found this candelabra and I bought it. I got it. It was like $10 and I got it for 50% off because it was like yellow tag day or something. It was a yellow tag. And so that's going to be going on our table this year. I'm going to get some candles to go in it. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, that thing looks really cool. I liked it when I saw that.
We have another one that's like a single candle holder, but this one holds like 3 candles. And I mean, it looks like something you would see on the wall in Dracula's castle. Like, it's amazing.
It could also be something that somebody could actually carry when we answer the door whenever trick-or-treaters wander
It's super
up.
heavy, though.
Yeah.
Oh, our doorknob, our doorbell thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got 2 of those now.
We have one, which we don't really use because most of the time we're outside to answer the door for the trick-or-treaters. We're usually already, like, out there. We keep a close eye on them coming up, mainly because Matt likes to turn on the fog as soon as they get up there and scare all the kids.
Just doing what I can. Doing my part.
And also, there's not really a place to hang it on the door unless we close the door, but I don't like to close the door on Halloween. I like to leave it open. But we go ahead and hang it on the door. And it's got a little button. We got this at Big Lots. You push it, and like it's got an eye, and it opens, and it looks around, and it says, "Good evening. Enter if you dare." I think we have a video of it on our Schorr Manor page on Facebook. So go over, check that out.
Facebook.com/Schorr Manor.
Yes. But really, I mean, I think that's pretty much it as far as our indoor decorations go. We have a few little, like, signs, like, you know, don't eat here, poison, that kind of thing.
We got some extra throw pillows. We got 2 jack-o'-lantern throw pillows that we'll be able to add to the couch this year.
That's right. We do.
Found those at yet another thrift store.
We did. And then also, I'm not ashamed to admit that I still collect Toy Beanie Babies. And so we have, you know, like the Halloween ones. I just found one of the little bats, actually at the same store that we got the throw pillows at. And my favorite one, I can't find him right now. I'm going to have to find him. But it's a bear, and it's like called Franken-Teddy, and it's all these different colors, and it has like the stitches. And then we have like the ghosts and the jack-o'-lantern. So, put those out as well. And I also have a Happy Everything plate. And what it is it's a plate that has Velcro on it, and it comes with all these little, they're called attachments. And we got that for our wedding shower, and we got almost every attachment they had made. And so I got the spider. And then actually for Christmas, I got Matt the haunted house one that they've come out with. Because my mother-in-law also got me the little soap dispenser for the bathroom that matches the Happy Everything plate. So I can put the spider like in the bathroom on that plate, and then we can put our haunted house actually on the one we keep in the living room.
I'd like to, at some point, find those faux pictures that you can find at different Halloween shops where, like, on one, when you look at it from one angle, it looks like just a normal portrait of a family member, but then when you turn to the other side, the face kind of turns into a skeleton. I'd like to get some of those and hang it on top of where our normal portraits are all hanging up around the house. I think that way anybody who looks in, anytime a trick-or-treater wanders up to our front door, there's a little bit extra interior decorating they might see.
Yes. That would be cool.
I think so.
And then the only other thing, I don't know if this really counts as a decoration or not. Let's talk a little bit about our table decorations. We do have like a black cauldron that Matt goes and gets dry ice and puts dry ice in there for when we eat. And then the other thing that I was thinking of is, like I mentioned in the last video, that I just absolutely love those plastic orange jack-o'-lanterns. Not a fan of the colored ones, like, you know, Pumpkins are orange. Jack-o'-lanterns are orange.
What are you doing here?
Anyways, so, and I mentioned I pick those up all the time wherever I can find them. Except for I do not buy them from Walmart. Like,
That's true.
I will buy them from a thrift store or from a yard sale or whatever. But I did buy one from Walmart. And it's not the one that you, like, carry around. It's huge. I mean, it's like 3 times the size of a normal, one of those little jack-o'-lanterns that you carry around on Halloween. And that's what I put all of my Halloween candy in to hand out to trick-or-treaters.
Yep.
I don't know if that really counts as a decoration, but it sits on my floor all month long, so I'm counting it.
I think it counts. Another decoration might be just films that we play all night. So the television is constantly playing a marathon of like Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much just those two on Halloween night, isn't it?
Yes, I like to watch the sequels, but I got shot down last year because everybody was handing out candy and wanted to watch Hocus Pocus. So I think we only watched Hocus Pocus last year because...
Probably. Because they're not streaming anywhere and we only have them on DVD, so...
Yeah.
It's this makes me sound like a spoiled millennial, but it's just so much work jumping back and forth between handing out trick-or-treating candy and changing out a DVD. People from the 80s would scoff at that. Like, we had VHS. How hard do you think that was?
Yeah, it can be hard, though, when you're getting them in droves.
It's true. In my defense.
Halloween can be a busy time for us.
That's true. We get lots of trick-or-treaters in this neighborhood.
We do. We try to make sure... I have, like, my small plastic orange jack-o'-lantern that I put candy in, and I have the huge one that holds, like, the reserve candy. And so, our friend Drew is usually, like, the candy person to be like, hey, Amanda, we need more candy. Like, we have, like, 10 people coming up, and we have 3. Like, get us more candy. So, between, like... taking care of our son and trying to eat and watch the movie and hand out candy. It's a crazy night, but it's so much fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
I never thought I would like it more than when I was a kid going out trick-or-treating. But I think, it's so much fun. We just spend the whole night here at home and...
It's Halloween, I know we did trunk-or-treats a few times before we got married, but I'm less and less of a fan of the trunk-or-treat phenomenon because Halloween is the one and only night a year where people actually still open their door to the community and welcome them to their doorstep. I know there are rough neighborhoods out there, but really by and large, all real reports out there are that it's actually perfectly safe to take your kid around your neighborhood and go meet your neighbors in this way.
And that's days, the thing, like you go with your kids, you don't send them off by themselves.
These days, so many people, that's the only time they really meet their neighbors.
Right.
If they go trick-or-treating on Halloween. Yeah, that's a side tangent by me.
I agree, though. I think trunk-or-treating, which we kind of do, we took Callum. Here in our town, we have what's called Fright on Franklin, and it's like the Saturday before Halloween, so people can come and get candy there, and then they can go actually out on Halloween night. And I think they do it because there's been a couple of years we've had some really bad weather.
It was so cold last year.
Well, I'm just meaning like rain and storms.
Well,
like one year they had to move Halloween from like Halloween Day to the night after.
That's right. I remember that.
One girl came to our door because her dad had to work the next night, and they were like couldn't find any houses giving out candy. We were like the only house that gave them candy.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it takes away from the fun because when we did it in our hometown, we had thousands of people coming. Like 2,000, 3,000, which probably really doesn't seem like that many to people who live in bigger cities, but for our small town, it was crazy.
That little town had a population of about 10,000 people, so you're talking about a fifth,
20% of the town.
That's a big chunk of people.
And it was just constant, and you couldn't enjoy seeing the kids in their costumes. Yeah. People were irritated if the line took too long. They were rushing through. It got to the point where we were having to give just one piece of candy because we were running out of candy. It was a 2-hour event, and we were an hour in, and they're like, we really need to ration this out to make sure we last, And people were mad and complaining. You're getting this for free, and you're complaining because they're giving you one piece of candy. Kids were rude.
I will say...
They were like, I don't like that, I don't want that. And I'm just like, it just really, turned me off to the
Yeah.
whole thing.
I will say, on behalf of the Fried on Franklin, though, here in our town, it seems to be, and of course, we're on two different sides of it here. At that particular one, we were on the side handing out candy, and here at Fried on Franklin, we're on the side of the people actually going through it all. But from our perspective, Fried on Franklin was a really good time.
It was, but it was like...
It was pretty big and pretty hectic.
It was super cold.
It was
so
super
there
cold,
weren't a lot of people there. And we didn't even do all of it. We
I think we left early because we were worried about
because we were freezing. Yeah. We didn't want our son to get sick because he was still getting over like hand, foot, and mouth that he had gotten.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. Our poor baby, he's been sick. He's 2 years old, been sick on both Halloweens. Missed his party at daycare both years.
Yep.
And I'm just so mad. Like, I made Matt take the candy. Like, I made him take the treat bags because I was so mad that he missed his party.
Maybe maybe this time we'll finally, third time's a charm. He'll finally get to enjoy his Halloween.
I want him to enjoy his little party. Plus, last year we were the Addams family, and I made his costume. Okay, I didn't sew it. I bought it. I bought a gray onesie, and then I made the little spider out of felt because we made him be Pubert, not Pugsley, because he was so little. And we separated his hair and smoothed it down with gel, and then we drew the little black mustache on him, and I was so mad because I was so excited about that costume and taking it to daycare, and then he didn't even get to wear it.
Yeah, quick note about that picture of us as the Addams family and him as Pubert. That is actually the cover image for this podcast.
Yes, it is. That was taken at Fried on Franklin.
Yes, it was.
We actually ended up in the Clarksville family paper.
That's true. Visit Clarksville. You put that in their annual publication. Yep.
It was really cool.
That was very cool. So
we're famous.
Shout out to Visit Clarksville. So I don't know. Does that wrap it up? Is that all of the decorations? I think that's
pretty much it. Okay, if I've come across anything that I've forgotten to mention, I will mention it in later podcasts. But
there you go. All right. Well, thank you for checking us out again, and we'll talk to you again next time. Close out the way that we always do here at Schorr Manor. Happy haunting.